Ready?
Welcome to the first episode of the Uncensored Couch. I'm one of your hosts, Jesus, and this is my co-host, Ulysses. Our first guest here on the podcast is my boy Julian Williams. Say what's up, man.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? Thanks you guys
So,
for having me. Appreciate
uh,
that.
a lot of people don't ever believe me that I have like famous friends and shit like that. Kind of want to explain now. Who is Julian Williams? You know?
Yeah, yeah. Um, so uh listen, just another guy, but obviously I'm blessed. I'm fortunate that I was able to go from, I've always been around fitness. Okay. So kind of give you the background. My dad owns a training facility in Georgia called Georgia Sports Performance, which I'm a personal trainer, but I also day trade and we'll get into all that jazz. But so I've always, since 4 years old, bro, I was like doing ladder drills and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like doing cones and all that stuff. And like, so I didn't know anything different. My brothers, I have two older brothers as well that play college football and we all got scholarships and stuff like that. So like I was used to seeing that and I go, oh, I want to play, I want to play football like them. And so it was an easy path, but there's one thing. My dad's old school. My mom's Jamaican, my dad's Mexican. You know what I'm saying? So and the ass whoopings were not. There was no short of that. It was like you need to do what you need to do. Like the work. You always just say get your work done, and then you can have fun. And the work was the gym. And so I was like, I want to be a normal kid, and like I want to go to the mall and just like chill. And now I realize, you know what I'm saying, like how started to, I'm saying, blow by everybody. You know what I'm saying, like light years, and just like surpass everybody talent wise. And not easy, obviously, but it's kind of what I like to consider a late bloomer. Like, bro, and junior year, sophomore year, bro, I was playing fullback. I was like this chubby kid and like didn't know what I was gonna do and what position am I gonna play. I was not this 5-star guy who was like Travis Hunter, number one recruit in the nation. Like that was not me at all. I ended up being a 3-star athlete, but I got ranked my senior year. So I went from high school to prep school. From prep school, it's like a fifth year of high school. My grades were always good, but I didn't really have a whole lot of film. I went from prep school to junior college because we played the junior college, ironically, that my prep school played. I got an offer there. And then from there, I went to FIU. And then from FIU, I went to the Falcons. So it was like, it was definitely not this easy, like, yeah, man, I got 45 offers. Is it going to be Georgia? Is it going to be, Ohio State? It's like, it wasn't like that at all. And so I just outworked everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? And so there was no secret to it. And I'm just blessed that I got the opportunity to do that. I just knew that, hey, listen, once I started to get older and appreciate what my dad had done for me when I was younger, that I thought was like, this is bullshit. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
It ended up being like, okay, so it's just hard work. Like that's all I got to do is just outwork everybody. And of course, easier said than done, but I had the environment and I was able to train. I was lucky enough to get around NFL athletes and all pros and Josh Norman and Taylor Heineke, which was my high school quarterback, who's now with the Falcons, who was with Washington and stuff like that. Like these are guys that I rub shoulders with and like those are my boys. And so I was like, man, how do you do this? These are only guys a little bit older than me. And then in some respects, I have guys who are way older than me that are like, hey, you're doing the right thing. And of course, as a kid, it's like, that's not what you want to hear. You're like, what the fuck does that mean? What do you mean I'm doing the right thing? Like, tell me what I need to do to get to the league. Like, I need to know. And they're like, bro, you're doing it. And I'm like, okay. And so, bro, I just put my head down, stayed the course, and I was able to get there. So that's kind of a little bit about me.
So let's get to like your first pro year.
Yeah.
What's your feeling like? How did you feel like going into the league? Because we have a lot of people that they train their whole life to get to the
Yeah.
league and never make it. But like for you,
Yeah.
because your work ethic it showed and basically got signed. So how did you feel like signing your first contract and
Mhm.
playing the first year? How was that feeling for you?
Again, kind of going back to the whole, it wasn't like the silver spoon thing. I didn't go to Vegas or I didn't go to, um, I didn't shake hands or hug Roger Goodell, the commissioner, and I didn't, oh, for the third pick of the, none of that shit happened, bro. It was after the draft. I pretty much watched everybody get picked. And then I got a call from the Falcons, which lo and behold, that was kind of like my hometown. Obviously, that's where I'm from. I'm from Georgia originally. And I never was like, oh, the Falcons are going to be at Pro Day. I actually had some teams that were interested, the Browns, the Colts, some teams I had talked to a little bit here and there, but they show a little interest. Hey, stay ready. We'll be in touch. So I didn't really know what the hell was going to happen. And I got a workout. Lou, my agent at the time, Chris Cabot, which is Patrick Mahomes' agent, um, he called me and he was like, "Yo, like you have a workout at 6 a.m. tomorrow at the Bubble in Flowery Branch in Georgia." And I was like, "Okay." So that's the notice you get, bro. It's not like, in a week. They're like,
Yeah.
tomorrow, be there.
Next day thing type thing.
Exactly. So we go into the Bubble. It's me, Jalston Fowler, and another receiver. And at the time in 2018, 2019, which was that year that I was with the Falcons, um, Dan Quinn was the head coach. Thomas Dimitroff was the general manager, and they were in the Bubble, and all the other coaching staff, because it was a tryout for the us three, kind of a private workout. All the coaching staff and even like the trainers and stuff, they wanted to all come and see it. So they're inside this bubble that they have, the indoor facility, and they're watching us run routes. I've never run routes so hard, bro, in my fucking life ever. And I was dead tired after. I mean, I was diving for balls. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, I'm not dropping shit. Like I'm getting signed today. This other receiver is probably like 6'3", 6'4". So I'm only 5'10", 5'11". And I'm like, bro, this guy has not worked harder than me. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a mentality going in. Jalston is a fullback. If they sign him, fine, but he's a guy who's blocking for a running back. It doesn't really pertain to me. But this other guy is not going to beat me out. And I forget what school he went to, but anyway, we go into the locker room afterwards, like their little the guys or whatever hit the showers. I'm like, bro, I'm 15 minutes from the facility. I'm like, I'm gonna go home and fucking shower. Like, if I'm not getting signed, I'm out, dog. Like, fuck this. You know what I'm saying? And so they come back in and they're like, hey, like, coach wants to speak to you back outside. And I'm like, okay. So I go back out there or whatever. They're still in the shower. And I'm thinking, we're all gonna go out there together. They're gonna go, okay, we're gonna sign you guys. We're not gonna sign you or whatever. It was just me who came out there. And they were like, we're gonna go ahead and sign you today. And dude, like my whole fucking body went numb. And I'm just standing there and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, so, and they're like, yeah, so, we'll go up to the, essentially like a lack of it's a better term, like a field house, go up to the kitchen. We'll get some food. They have chefs and stuff like that on like staff that will just make you whatever food you want and smoothies and ginger shots and all that, whatever. So we'll go up there to the facility. We'll eat. And then we'll go upstairs and we'll sign your contract. I was like, okay. So we went up there. Of course, I was like just chomping at the bit, bro. I'm like, can we go upstairs? I want to fucking sign this contract already. Like, I don't want to eat. Like, I'm not even hungry, bro. Like, I just want to get this done. So I had to wait patiently. Me and Jalston that went up there, and they did not sign the other guy. And it's a business, bro. You just realize at a very high level, it's a business. Like they put that other receiver on one of those Fords, one of those like sprinters. And bro, they took his ass back to the airport and flew him back. Like that's how that went. That's how quick it happens. And they were like, they gave me we signed, they gave me my iPad with my number on it. They gave me my locker. They gave me my cleats. We tried on the helmets, shoulder pads, everything. And then they were like, see you at 6 a.m. tomorrow. And that's how fast, bro, it turned around. It was like, so we're live tomorrow. I can't even enjoy this. I can't be like, let's go celebrate this. I need to get rest because I'm about to start running. And I went to the receiver coach, which was Raheem Morris, which is now the head coach for the Falcons, which is pretty cool. And he was the receiver coach at the time. And he was like, don't worry about, because I go, what position do you want me to learn? Of course, we've got now the iPad full of plays. And I'm like, what do you want me to look at? I mean, I can look at everything. I plan on it anyway, but like, what position do you want me to look at? He goes, don't even worry about the plays because your ass is just going to be running tomorrow. I'm like, oh shit. And all that meant was I'm on scout team. I'm a 2 or a 3 behind. Now look, just to give you guys perspective, Julio Jones, Justin Hardy, Russell Gage, Devin Gray, Mohamed Sanu, me, and like one other guy were in that meeting room. So at the time in 2018, 2019, bro, we had the best receiving core arguably in the entire league. We were stacked up, between Julio and Calvin Ridley. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those guys alone, and then Mohamed Sanu and these other guys. And so I obviously have a great relationship with all these guys. And so it was just like they used to call me United Nations because I was, like this mixed. It looked like a white boy, but could run good routes. And, it's like you got a bunch of these other elite, black dudes in here that are just fucking beasts. And it's like, and who are you? And it's like, dude, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just like whatever. I was in great shape. I told you all the work that I had put in the past was now like coming to fruition. And it was like, even if I'm not maybe as naturally talented as these guys, which I wasn't, not even close to Julio, and like these are guys who are going to the Hall of Fame, that it was like, but they knew I was a worker and they could run me all practice and I would not get tired. I was like, it doesn't even matter, bro. Like I'll do whatever and play special teams and do all that. So people don't really realize that you play defense and I have to guard Julio, to guard Muhammad Sanu. I have to guard Calvin Ridley. They put a penny on my helmet and I have to now guard them on defense. And I'm supposed to be now the Green Bay Packers DB for this week. I have to prepare him. And now I'm the guy who's running routes against him. I do special teams and I also do my own reps on offense. So it's like, bro, I'm literally, we used to put those polar monitors, those ones, the heart rate monitors.
Yeah.
They used to put those around us and they used to take the chips out and they used to charge them every day. They would show us how fast we were running mile per hour and how many miles we were running per day, bro. I mean, I'm running sub 20 mile an hour, probably 19, 20, 21 mile an hour. These other guys, Julio's running 23 miles an hour. Calvin's running 24 miles an hour. And they would look at that data, bro, and be like, is there something wrong with you? Like, or they wouldn't say anything to me necessarily, but that's how they would kind of, scrape their data and go, is this guy just slacking off or is he not as fast or what's going, I mean, bro, everything's a business, bro. Yeah. Like if you're helping us or you're not fucking helping us, like we'll cut your ass today. And so, bro, you're walking on eggshells every day. You don't know whether you're going to get cut every Tuesday. They sign somebody, they traded somebody, or they move somebody from the practice squad to the roster, to the 53 man. So that's how it was, bro. You did not want to get called on Tuesday. You just were like, I hope nobody fucking calls my phone. It'd be like a burner phone, fucking random, and you'd pick it up and be like, oh, this is so and so from the facility. Coach wants to see you. Listen, if you've watched Hard Knocks at all, this is not for a fucking award. They're cutting your ass. You do not want to be called.
So upon getting signed to the Falcons, how did your family feel about you signing?
Oh, dude, they were ecstatic. And I look back at it now, bro, and it's like that was all from my dad. You understand? And all from my don't get me wrong. I mean, of course, I know it was work that I had to put in, but I will tell you, and as we transition obviously into kind of getting into day trading, I find so much more satisfaction in day trading. And I think it's only because of the freedom, because bro, it is like you work to the bone in the league. And it's like they use you like a sports car, bro. You run. The minute you got to go to the shop, they don't put you in the shop, they cut. And they'll go get another guy. That's it, bro. They replace you. So it's just like as a boy, when you first start playing at 4 years old, you just believe in your mind that if I become the best people play. Unfortunately, it's not always that way in the NFL. Sometimes it's, they know a coach or a coach who used to be their college coach is now their NFL coach. And I like him, so I'm going to keep him. You see what I'm saying? It's like, bro, that's millions of dollars in that particular man's pocket that who get to feed their family and whatever. And so then I'm the other guy on the other side of the stick that gets cut. That when I sat in with Dimitroff and Dan Quinn when they brought me up to the office, I was hoping that they would, and it sounds ass backwards, but I was hoping they would tell me that I did something wrong. And I was like, just tell me what I did wrong and how do I get back here? Because I love it here and I love the brotherhood that you guys, always talk about. And if it's real and you guys are a family knit group and whatever. And more importantly, I like making fucking $9,000, $10,000 a week. That's nice. And so I'm like, how do I get back here? Oh no, we like everything that you're doing. You catch the ball well, you hustle around, you do what you need to do. We just got to go get more defensive guys. At the time, Ricardo Allen, who's now the defensive coach for the Dolphins, and Deion Jones, Debo, number 45, our key linebacker, tore his ACL and Ricardo tore his Achilles. They were like, we just got to get more defensive guys. And I was like, so there's nothing that I did wrong. They're like, no. And I never got a call back after that. And bro, I stayed ready for 2 years, 3 years, fucking train. I mean, imagine getting up every day. I mean, it's a bit like trading. It's like getting up every day and hoping that the time. Exactly.
4 a.m.
And it's just like, I don't know exactly. I don't know what, if I'm ever going to get a call again. And I'm doing that for now speed up 2 years of that, 3 years of that. Just like, let me stay ready. Let me stay ready. Let me stay ready. Like always having a vision of I just knew that when I got in there, bro, you don't know what to expect. You get in there and you're like, I'm about to run routes against Brian Poole, or I'm about to run routes against Desmond Trufant, or I'm about to run routes against Isaiah Oliver, who was just in the Super Bowl last night. We played for San Fran. It's like, am I about to get fucking schooled? You know what I'm saying? Am I about to look like shit right now, or am I about to like ball? And then you get out there and you run routes with them, and you're like, this is it? Like, this is what the NFL is?
Yeah.
And I don't say that to brag at all, because I can be honest, you know what I'm saying, with myself. If I knew it was like,
let me ask you this: was your expectations different than what you got from joining the NFL?
absolutely. And I don't know why I felt like it was just like something that I would get in. And granted, I was only there for a year, but that I would get in and just kind of like get chewed up and spit back out type deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it wasn't like that, bro, at all. I was another guy. I was respected in the meeting room. I was a guy who could make plays. Um, and the other guys knew it. Not that I needed validation from Julio, not that I needed validation from Calvin, but these guys would tell Raheem and these other coaches, like, he's ready. He's ready to go. And it's like, bro, you hear that from a Hall of Fame receiver? Like, that's like, bro, that's the stamp. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I need, bro. Like, now I'm on a high forever. It's like the almost arguably one of the greatest receivers to ever play the game are telling me that I've got the skill.
Oh, yeah.
A couple things go my way, you know what I'm saying, or somebody gets hurt, somebody rolls an ankle, bro, I might get in with the Falcons, break into the lineup, and never, you and I were having this conversation, I still play for the Falcons. That is the game of inches and the business that the NFL is. That's how close it is to, like, everything could have been different had those two guys not get hurt. I'm still at the Falcons. Maybe, maybe not. You see what I'm saying? It's just like you really don't know, but you replay everything in your head, and I like having control of my fate. And what sucks is you work 20 years of your life, and then it's in these coaches' hands to be like, who's the guy that we need on the team? You know what I'm saying? So there's a little bit of luck, bro. There is. In order to come back, unless you're just a Mahomes or something like that, who's just like, you're a franchise guy, bro. You ain't going nowhere. We got you for 10 years. Well, then you're always scratching and clawing for your job, bro. Always. So that's it, dude.
So let's say 3 months in your first year in pro ball, how does the money look like? You hear stories about pro ball players. They make all this money and they go
Yeah.
broke. How,
Oh, yeah.
your situation,
I mean,
I
I
think that you make like
so I signed a rookie deal, which the rookie deals are much more now even, and it was for like $3.2 million or something like that for 3 years, or 3.6, one of the two. And obviously that's a lot of fucking numbers. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of digits. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that. But it's what's called a non-binding contract. So they can tear that shit up whenever they want. There's no actually guaranteed money. So as you see some of these big guys get contracts, when Purdy gets a contract, the number that he gets over the course of 5 years or 10 years is not the important number. It's the guaranteed money, as you know. Lamar Jackson, a guy who gets, $100 million, let's say, and gets $100 million guaranteed, that shit wires into his bank account as soon as he strokes the pen. It's in there. That's nice. That's what you want. I was getting anywhere between $8,500 and $10,000 every Tuesday. That would hit my account. I mean, dude, not bad. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and I'm a P squad guy. I pretty much practice Monday through Thursday. Thursday, guys would get on the jet. They would go and play whatever game. I was essentially prepping the guys defensively and offensively and special teams to then sit and watch the game and be a spectator. When it was at the Mercedes Benz, I would be on the sideline in my just streetwear apparel or whatever, or wear like a Falcons, and we would do our warm-ups out there with the rest of the team. And that was kind of like our game. And it was like, we want to make sure, because they would film all that shit and be like, how does that look? Even on game day, which is wild to think. It's just a crazy concept, but it would be like, this is your film. You're going to do pregame, and we want to see you run. We want to see you look good. And then your ass is going to go back inside, put on this stuff, a hoodie, and then everybody else is going to come out in pads, and then they're going to play the game, and your ass is going to sit. If somebody got hurt, they would already have to have you activated. So it means I couldn't go into the locker room if Julio went down and put on my shit. They can't do that. They have to already have me activated and go, if he gets hurt, you're ready to go. So they already had guys, you know what I'm saying? If they had, 4 or 5 receivers, they had another 2 or 3 that were ready, that were, called up to the. So I was just sitting at home. Let's say they go and play Carolina. In Carolina, I would be at home watching the game, cheering them on, whatever. And guess what? Monday morning, Sunday, they would obviously play the game. Monday morning, they would usually take off. Tuesday would be right back to work. I'd be at the facility, 5 a.m. Fucking, the gates open and I drive through and fucking go to practice again. And here's the next week. That was the life, bro. And so it was great. I definitely loved because it's like it's the closest thing to a rock star lifestyle as you can get. It's like everybody knows you, and my name was not very big, but people could look me up and know that I was playing for the Falcons, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all good. But again, it just kind of solidified that the work that I've done up to this point, it's worked, right? Like it got me there. But I was making, like I said, around 85 to 10 grand every Tuesday. Every time I'd open my account on Tuesday, boom, there it is. So, bro, I was looking at stupid shit. Bro. I was looking at Lambos. I was like, how much do I need down payment for this? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'll save up 2 or 3 checks and I'll come and stroke you a check and then I'll bring you the rest. Like, not a problem. And it just ended much quicker than I thought it would. You know what I'm saying? I never thought it was going to stop because of the expectation we talked about. I just thought I was going to get swallowed up and spit out. Dude, I was balling. Like I was making plays. Like I was like, this shit is actually easy. Like these guys are not that great. And all respect to those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not shit. They're making money. They're making millions still. And I'm fucking sitting at home. So, hey, joke's on me. But ultimately it's like, I'm glad I found a space where I can potentially make the same amount of money clicking a fucking button, which is like, that's the best, so I'm blessed to be here, but yeah, man, like I do this, I day trade, and I also am a personal trainer. That's what I went to school for at FIU, exercise science or whatever. So because I've been around that space, I know how to coach people, and so I, make good money doing that as well. But I'm able to then give back and plug into these kids. You know what I'm saying? The high school kids and the college kids and the other pros that I train. That's like, yeah, man, like here's what it takes because they don't also know what it's going to be like when they get in there. And I'm just trying to like give them like, bro, I wish I would have heard this before when I was going. So like, here's what it's like. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, it's not that big of a deal.
Do you think like when you tell these kids that like information, do you think they take it into consideration, or do you think that
Uh,
because
it's, it's, yeah, it's not, sometimes it's one in one ear out the other. I get what you're saying. It's kind of, bro, it depends on who I'm talking to. I know when kids are locked in and I know when kids are kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes they need Taylor Heineke to talk to them because he's been in the league for 8 years and I was only in for 1. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's like that. It's a clout thing. If Cam Newton walks into our facility and then starts talking to everybody, I bet you everybody's fucking listening. It's just how it goes, bro. It's just a clout thing. It's like anything else. Yeah, in the trading space, it's the same thing. I'm gonna listen to, I'm gonna listen to the top traders in the space. I'm not gonna listen to Jesus, but really, you got it fucked up. It's really the other way. But see, they don't know that. And so it's like, guys, I can teach you what it takes to get into the NFL. Here's the good news. You don't have to do anything special. You don't need to OBJ, one hand every ball. Just catch the fucking ball. Be reliable. Be somebody you can be counted on. You know what I mean? The coach doesn't have to turn their back and be like, is he doing the right thing or not? Be coachable. Like the little things that you hear coaches say as you like grow up and like play sports is the key. That's what's crazy. But you just think that there's something else because it's like, bro, they're getting paid millions of dollars. There's a secret key out there that somebody's not fucking telling me. There's not.
Than what you're doing, but
There's not.
maintaining the work ethic and listening to the coach to improve the little things. Right?
That's it, bro. It's about application. I get taught something, go do it right now. That's the hard part. Oh, don't do it 3 plays from now. Hey, I want you to fix this, do this right here on the next play. That shit's hard to do, bro. You like literally have to become a machine. Okay, I'm gonna do it just like this, and it needs to look good, or they cut you, bro. They literally at any point in the day. It doesn't have to happen on Tuesday, bro. By the way, it's just every day you are on the hot seat. Unless even if you got guaranteed money, you're still on the hot seat. How you gonna pay your bills? How you gonna pay? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna feed your family? How you gonna, bro? Football, just professional sports, bro, is such a stressful fucking job, dude. Your livelihood relies on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you start buying shit out of your means, the Lambo and the fucking house and the fuck. I got all this shit due now. How the fuck am I gonna pay for this, bro? You ain't making 10 grand no more, bro. I've seen Julio. I thought I was making a lot of money. I've seen because they'll give you pay stubs, but obviously it gets wired into your account. I've seen him show me a pay stub for $1 million. He makes $1 million every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday. Like, dude, that's stupid money. You know, it's like I could buy a house every Tuesday. Like that's dumb. I could buy seriously, I could buy I could buy a hotel. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, this is not money. It's not play money, dude. This is real deal. But remember one thing, you're a performer. Make no mistake about it. You got to show up and show out. And they don't give a shit how you feel. This is a business. If you're not helping win football games, you got to go. That's it, dude. You know? So it's like just to be in the I guess in the environment with those guys, dude, that was like I'll never forget that. You know what I'm saying? And those guys I got to rub shoulders with, those that's super cool, bro, for sure.
You think at some point making that much money doesn't mess with you mentally wise? You know, let's
Oh,
say
it does.
you're averaging
Oh,
out
it does.
man for 3 months straight. What is that close to what? With 40 G's a month? What's
Yep.
that? 100
Yeah, it's 10, yeah, 10, 40. That's 120, bro.
when you're around there, you're looking at like after a
Just
while.
running around, fucking catching footballs, bro.
Yeah, because no, yeah,
It is.
people
It
who have like spending habits, you know, and you think like you have like one of those issues, like I
so
think like
you just have to if you do it right and you got and trust me, like the NFL has a lot of tools, but like advisors and you take it seriously and you come in or you get these guys that come from you get guys who come from you know, Stanford, you know what I'm saying? You get guys who are just as talented as they are, what I'm saying, smart. They went to school for economics or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not saying that has to be the pedigree, but understand they just know how much they come from Columbia. It's like, bro, these guys are like, this money's great, but I understand that it can stop. And they have a better understanding than most people. And then it's like they put their money into like real estate and they buy a big ass off their guaranteed money. They like throw that into, you know what I'm saying? Like a portfolio of 30, 40 houses. And it's like, cut me if you want. I don't give a fuck.
yeah, they have
That's the ultimate. That's the flex for the league. It's like, bro, you got to do the right shit with your money. It's just you just never think it's gonna stop. That's why NBA players go broke. That's why FB players go broke. That's why all professionals. That's why it's like there's like a whatever 2 year, 3 year window. It's like you're gonna go broke, but it's like hopefully you've done the right things or put the right assets in play that like, bro, you don't have to worry about. You can sit on your ass and watch Netflix and you're making 50, 100 grand a month, and it pays for all your bills. You know what I'm saying? The passive flow. It's like, but you got to get there. And quite frankly, that's all I'm trying to do with day trading. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that clicking a button, I can do that till I'm fucking 99, but that's not really the point. As you know, we're asking for stress. Every time we get on this computer, it's like, give me stress. So it's like, I don't want that. I want to just be like, oh, that's a good play. That's a good supply and demand play. Let's ride.
yeah,
And now I can throw in 30 grand into into an account, into Sway and be like, I'm going to let that play ride. That's a fucking $80,000 payout. If it blows, I go to zero. I was going to spend that on a PJ and I was going to spend that anyway on fucking a vacation for my family. It's like when I hit on it, I'm now going to ball even harder on that fucking vacation. It's like, because I got an extra 60 bands now I'm just sitting on. And it's the rinse and repeat of like grabbing the 10% or 20% of that, putting in more real estate. It's like, bro, you got to play real life.
oh yeah, it's like real life monopoly, but you have to pay your card.
Bro. You have to.
A lot of people don't understand the actual worth of a dollar until you get into your
Until
whole.
you get some.
And
Yep.
yeah, because people think
You got
like,
it.
it's a lot of money, but think about taxes, think about your retirement, think about
Oh, yeah.
living expenses. 10 G's can go away quick.
Like in the snap of your fingers, bro. right when I started making 8 to 10 grand, bro, I was like, this ain't that much money.
It
I
went
was
fast. Get your hand,
bro,
basically.
what?
And I'm pretty sure, being young, making that much money. Don't get me wrong. But
Yeah, that fucked me up too, bro. Like I look back at it and I had just no financial literacy, bro, at all. No savviness at all. It's like, all right. At the time, I was with my girlfriend, bro. I was my ex. I was blowing bread, bro. Going to Miami, going to fucking New Surrey, you know what I'm saying? Fucking Salt Bae's restaurant and shit, and like dude,
I'll be
Kiki on the
back.
river, and bro,
Dude,
I was like, bro, bottles, it doesn't matter, bro. Like, let's go.
the funny part about me is I'll be mad as hell. Me
What?
with the girl, I'm with the girl. I spent 100 G's. I finna invoice you 100 G's to pay me back for that shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna need this back, or you're
But
gonna pay back in a different way. I'm like, bro.
so let's kind of get into the part like how we met each other, right? You're going from pro ball, going
Mhm.
to what we do now. How's that transition? Going from playing in the NFL, going to what we do now. Like, how was that first few years of like transition? Because sometimes it may feel like, oh man, I would say like mental side, like you're transitioning from one space to a different space. How was that
No
feel?
doubt, bro. This is like more than the most challenging thing I've ever done in my life for sure. Day trading. It is such a mental fucking just, you know what I mean? Like matrix, dude. That's like I have to master this, bro, in order for me to make money on this chart. You know what I'm saying? Like it's my perception of what this is. Like I tell my brother this all the time. I'm like, the more I get better at trading, bro, I'm like, when I look at the candles, bro, this is like it's a mirror. You know what I mean? It's just a mirror reflection of what I believe is going the market going up and the market going down. The ratio of how many wins to losses is obviously, you know what I'm saying, kind of predicated on how good of a trader I am or not. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, like, not every day is your day. So cutting your losses is very important. Dude, it's crazy because like I told you this yesterday, like I'm so used to going to the gym, bro, and just beating like I just got back from the gym not long ago and like beating my body down to a point where it's like people would be like, fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? And then I get up the next day and I do it again. And it's like, that doesn't bother me, bro. Like having so much soreness where I'm like, okay, I probably would just grab some lighter dumbbells or bench a little bit less, but like I don't stop though. This is my regimen. This is my, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just what I know. I've done this, bro, since I was a kid. Not necessarily lift, you know what I'm saying? But like, a teen, I've always done this. So I'm never going to stop that because I like the way that it makes me feel, obviously. And then it's good for my brain so I can, you know, do what I need to do on the charts. But because I'm so used to the physical, like the brutal beatdown,
Yeah.
now it's a mental beatdown, and it's like nothing happens physically at all. I'm like, and so when I lose money, bro, it's even worse. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't I? And dude, it's like, this is, it was definitely a transition where I'm like, such supreme confidence in myself and anything that I do. And I know that not everybody has that, but it's like, I just believe in myself. And it comes from, playing in the NFL. I've told you this before. It's like, bro, making it into something, into a population or demographic, if you will, that less than 1% make it in the entire world or nation, I should say. And then now 10% of traders or 5% of traders are successful. I'm like, that's an extra 9%.
Oh
That's
yeah.
how I think. But see, that's like, but you got to get there in order to be like, okay, mentally, I can do that. If I didn't make it to the NFL, bro, I would not have the mentality I have now with day trading. And I would not be I'd probably be a whole lot more discouraged with like the L's that I take. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think, and as we dive into it more, it's like L's happen more regularly than even
Oh,
on profitable traders. You know what I'm saying? Than people realize. People just think it's like, bro, it's blue all the time. It's like, bro, no, dude, not
because
even
people think
close.
like real life L's is bad. Imagine taking L's and the
Oh
shit
my
that we
gosh,
do,
bro.
man. It's not that's like puppy child to us, man.
Literally, literally. But yeah, I will say though that like when I look at it from a positive standpoint, it's like, dude, this teaches me about patience, right? When I think I'm patient, it's like, shut the fuck up. And then it humbles you again. You're like, I thought I was fucking patient. It's like, no, bitch, you're not patient. You know what I'm saying? It's like, cause you're waiting on that move and you convince yourself of a signal and you're like, oh, this is it. This is my confirmation. It's like, no, it's not. You know, it's not. You got your zones already drawn up. It's like, it hasn't touched it yet. And you get in and then it just blows you out of the water. And you're like, what the fuck, bro? And it's like, that's where I'm like, dude, I know that I'll be able to take day trading and carry this when I have kids, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And just in life,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this market has broken me down, bro, to the fucking core. You know what I'm saying? Like all the way down to the floor. And it's like, so as a man, I know it's building me up in the person I need to become. You know what I mean? Because it shows you out, dude. It really does.
Like growing up, past like 10 years, 20, 27, 28, around there.
Yeah.
Learning this stuff, since like we've been friends, I've been doing this forever, man. Like I
Yeah.
always heard like, man, you ain't making no money, this and that. But to be honest, like I've never really cared. But after a while, hearing that from people that you like, you know,
Yeah, you care about their opinion. Yeah,
yeah, I did for a while, but knowing that, okay, the mentality side, like learning who I am, and to be honest, I'm a person now that doesn't really give a fuck, right? Because growing up in this space, being around like entrepreneurs, being around people, a lot of people don't understand like the people I'm around with are people who are very important, right? So like growing up, 2021, I thought 3 G's was a lot of money to have in my bank.
yeah. Oh
I
yeah,
really
oh, yeah.
thought it was a lot of money. But being around like people like in our space, the Q banks, the Anthony
Yep.
Williams, all these people, right? You see like what an actual worth of a dollar is. Because if you think like you're making it big, there's people out there just levels beyond, right? This
Yes.
is where like I got started with my networking, right? If you actually know who I am and like met me in person, I can put you around like people that are
Big
very
people,
important.
exactly. That matter. Yeah, right.
So in the past few years, the mentality side, what I hate about it is like, you know, in this space, I've given up a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
Because when you do something like this, like last year, like we just met a couple months ago, but last year, every month I was somewhere. Every 2 weeks, I was somewhere. I was flying out to people, LA, Miami, ATL, different places, because you know what?
Right.
That was the life I chose, right? Because, when I tell people, and this kind of basically tarnished all my relationships last year, right?
Right.
Getting into this space is like you give up a lot. And a lot of people don't like, they can't handle that little, like, you know,
Yeah.
willing to
That
how we talk
that
about
mental that
broke for
shift. Yeah, that mental shift.
we're willing to go broke for a while to get big, and
Exactly.
the mental side of like learning like who you are doing this stuff like makes you understand that okay, I can conquer anything, right? Just because
Absolutely.
just because you had an issue with it doesn't mean I'm gonna have an issue with it.
Exactly. Exactly. Like you said, that's why it's so important to get around people who are doing it. You know what I'm saying? And rub shoulders with the people because it's like, bro, anything's really possible. It's like it sounds so cliche. I mean, we hear that all the time, but it's like it's true. There are people who, if you get around, Luke Belmore or one of these guys, you know what I'm saying, who made it big in e-commerce, and they've got these, you know, seminars, and they've got these meetups, and all that. It's like, bro, they did it. Getting around those guys will just help encourage you. You know what I'm saying? To be like, wow, these guys are really making 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures, and are doing it big time. But it's like, bro, if you always are around, what's the old saying? It's like, show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, dude, you got a bunch of negative, you know what I'm saying, Nancy's around you who are, bro, scraping by, making a little bit of money, got an extra 50 bucks in their bank account by the end of the month. Then why would you be the one who makes fucking 50 grand extra? Why would that? You don't even have that mind frame. You know what I'm saying? That like that data set in order to like be like, I want to strive. If I'm around a bunch of billionaires though, you know what I'm saying? It don't mean I got to be a billionaire, but it's like I might make 100 million. I might make, 50 million. It's like because I'm trying to push, and I just realized that time and space is like, bro. They squish that shit up. They box it like they know how important it is. When I'm
Yeah.
awake, they're like I'm working, and they get shit done. It's not about. I was like say this shit on my live all the time. Like when I get on, like bro, what you do productivity wise, like watching Netflix, watching fucking Hulu, watching Paramount, watching fucking Peacock. I mean, I can like ring off all these, bro. They're literally paid billions of dollars to keep your fucking attention.
Oh yeah.
I go, bro, if you want to get something done, bro, you got to do some fucking work that nobody else is doing. Think about it. How
Yeah.
do I get unusual results?
And that's
I
something
get
we
it
got
by
talking about
doing
last
something that's unusual.
last week we were talking. I was talking about this podcast. I didn't think anyone thought I was actually gonna go through with this stuff. Right, I'm not lying. But I thought about this for like forever, man. Like people would tell me, bro, you should start doing podcasts because if you've been around me in person or just I've been saying some vulgar shit. But I just be telling the truth.
Just keep it real. Exactly,
And
bro.
a lot of people actually do like that. People may not, which is cool. The people who actually like it, they're my friends for a reason.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, just like man, a lot of people just they don't understand like what it takes to go through certain things. Like, to be honest, I was nervous about doing this podcast, but it is
Listen,
what it is,
there's
because I feel like
exactly,
at the
bro.
end of the day, like I feel like this can be something big, and if not, I'm not gonna say, oh, I didn't like I tried it.
I didn't go for it. Exactly.
Right, I'm
Right.
not gonna be
Right.
there sitting in the future. I mean, I should have done this and that. why not the type of person
Exactly.
to do that? Because you know what? I'm actually gonna do the fucking shit and I'm not gonna complain about it.
Exactly. Bro, that's all you can do. It's like, for me, at least where I'm at in my life, again, I'm not, old by any means, but at 28, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like all I think about these days, bro, as I read more books and as I educate myself more is about legacy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what I leave behind to my kids, what like this right here is what your kids will watch. And you know what I'm saying? And 20 years from now, 15 years,
I feel
10
like
years
my
from now, it's
kids
like,
see
bro,
my dad talk too much shit.
yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, at the end of the day, it's like, talk about it, be about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what I want, I think what's the coolest flex, bro, is being like, and I just talked to my brother about this, is like, I don't want to just be like, oh, dad, your dad, I'm talking to my kids. I'm like, here's what your dad did. Here's what I accomplished. You know what I'm saying? And we're in this nice home or whatever. It's like, I want to take you down to the theater room. I want to open up a big ass chest, a big ass, like, you kind of locker thing and be like, and just have fucking external hard drives 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2020. And it's just fucking vlogs. And it's like, plug it in and watch. Let me show you what I did. Let me show you how productive I
Not like a
was. Let me
matrix.
show you how dad got, yeah, bro. Let me show you how dad got what he had today. Because at the end of the day, bro, I'm doing my kids a disservice. Of course, the cliche thing, and as I get older, I understand why it's like, you always want your kids to have a better life than you did.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's all I'm after. That's all I'm after. But it's like, but you're not going to be spoiled and you're going to learn about day trading and because the biggest gift I can give you is learning how to extract money out of the market. So when you're 18 and you want to go get a car, I'm going to go buy your fucking self because you know how to make money. I wish I had that. And guess what? I had to wait till I was 21, till I got out of college in order to get a chance to make it in the NFL. And what is the percentage of people that are making it to the NFL? Fucking almost zero. So it's you work that your entire life, and then you're like, I have no business savviness. I have no skills. I can run a fucking route. That shit doesn't help me sit behind a fucking desk. How am I supposed to now my trajectory of my life? And I'm just fortunate that I found day trading, and it's like, I'm not going to teach. Listen, my kid wants to know how to play football. You realize, obviously, that's going to be like easy as a layup. Like I can teach them that. But it's like, but I'm going to teach you about trading. And I don't give a fuck whether you like it or not. So I'm gonna give you, my dad's old school. I don't give a fuck if you like it or not type deal. But you're gonna learn something to make money.
I like
You know what
that.
I'm saying? And learn and teach you the skills because
The little meme of
you know me,
home. I'm tired of it,
yeah,
bro.
bro. I don't too damn bad. It's like it doesn't matter, bro. It really does not matter. It's like you have to set your kids up, and that's what I think about now so much, bro. I'm like, so my clothing brand, you know what I'm saying? The businesses I want to start, the things that I'm going to do, bro. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm doing it. You see what I'm saying? Like everything's in motion, dude.
I think
And podcasts included. It's like,
the best thing that we can teach our kids is financial literacy because growing up, I'm Latino.
all we do is what? We take money and we fucking blow. We go buy toys and we do it. It's like, bro, how do you let me take a percentage of this? Let me stack it. You know what I'm saying? Let me take a piece of this, let me stack it. I'll spend this much. And bro, who the fuck teaches their kids that? Usually the ones that are super wealthy. You know what I'm saying? They get to it much sooner. They're like, you need to understand what it is to save money. And you're always like, that's so stupid because you just want to buy shit when you're young and, buy the new systems and buy the new video games. It's like, that's not the point. Those kids are the ones that are always better off, and get around the people that then they can network with. So when they make a phone call and they're like, I want to start this business, they're around the people in Harvard, in Columbia, in Yale that are like, I'm running this tech business or whatever. Let's do this. You see what I'm saying? It's like, you're not around a bunch of people who are like, yeah, bro, I'm a fucking, nothing wrong with it, but I'm a middle school teacher. What the fuck are you going to do to help me? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? And again, I am an advocate for teachers and first responders, and they need to get paid way fucking more. But guess what? There's a game that we play, and it's called life. And you need to learn how to fucking extract as much money as you can so you can do what the fuck you want to do in this life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You want to continue to bitch your entire life about how hard life is, you know what I'm saying? And be like, oh man, they don't pay me enough, or you're gonna fucking do something about it. Because last time I checked, there's a fucking 14-year-old on e-commerce making fucking 30 million. And your ass is sitting at home fucking at 35, and you're like, I fucking hate life. Life has beat me up. You're gonna do something or no? That, bro, is like where I'm like, dude, it doesn't even matter whether I like it or not. It doesn't matter if I like the billionaires pay less taxes than me. I need to learn the fucking game, is what I need to do. That's it, bro. That's where I'm at now. It's all about the game, you know?
Yeah, I think like one future goal for me is to teach my kids financial literacy.
Yes,
Being
bro.
that, growing up, in a Hispanic household, we're not taught much about like, we're taught about saving money and
Yeah,
buying a house, having a family, and just
that's it.
whatever
And
was
now,
taught.
and look at what society, social media, and everything else has taught us about it. What do they teach us? That's the American dream. Buy a home. You're in some debt, but take a loan out. Do what you got to do. Get your car, the dog. Fucking don't bitch. And you got food on the table. You got clothes on your back. Hey, listen, life's so bad. There's people that live a worse life. Fuck that. I want a fucking Lambo. I want a Rolls Royce. I want a fucking McLaren. I want to have the nice house. My kids are also eating, gourmet shit all over the world. We're flying in jets wherever we want to go. That's not about bragging. That's not for anybody else. That's not to flex on IG. That's because my kids need to be cultured. You know what I'm saying? Because my kids need to know what the rest of the world looks like. When I take my capital that I think is a lot and I go to Dubai, I'm fucking broke again.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You feel what I'm saying? There's levels to this shit. And it's about working your way up the game. Fuck settling, bro. Like you get one, this is not a dress rehearsal, dog. Like we're we're in our first quarter of our lives. We're rolling into our second quarter of our lives, bro. If we're playing this game until 100, let's just say, as for round numbers. You don't get a do-over, dog. You don't get to go back at 18. So forget about it and keep moving. Now push towards your dreams. Because if I'm gonna die anyway, and everybody else is gonna, it sounds morbid, but it's like if I'm going the same place you're going, fucking movie in the all during that process. I'm not gonna fucking be like, I drive a fucking dude. Fuck that. Don't do it
Uh,
for anybody else. That's the big thing. It's not about buying it because I want to flex to everybody else like everybody else does. I'm doing it for me. That's the difference. Good.
yeah, I have a question. So from the NFL, are you still earning?
The NFL? No, no,
No. Okay.
no, no.
So
Right when you get cut, that's it, dog.
what time did you stop earning?
Right after I got released. So that was probably December because we didn't get into the postseason that game. We played Green Bay. I flew out to greet the Packers. Got to see Aaron Rodgers at the time play, and be in Lambeau Field, which was pretty sick. Randall Cobb was still playing for them. Right after, I want to say a week or two after I got released, which was again December-ish, something like that. That was it, dog. You know what I'm saying? And then stop earning.
And did you start trading right after? Like you
No,
no?
no. I didn't. It was pretty much like, again, I was, reading books. I was dabbling in it. I was talking to my brother more about it because, like I told you, he had kind of tried a little bit of everything. And then he
Uh-huh.
was like, bro, we can make some serious bread in trading. I was like, what the fuck is trading? And I'm like, okay. And so we just started to dive into it and, MT5, got MT4, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, this app looks like shit. Like, what am I looking at? And just slowly but surely, like, okay, who's this Q Banks guy? You know what I'm saying? Who's Lambo Raul? Who's all these? And those were like the first two. And
Mhm.
I stayed on Q's and Wall Street Academy for a very long time. And I was like, this dude's Jamaican too. I'm Jamaican. I was like, this is my fucking boy. Let's ride. Like, I'm gonna make a bunch of money like he makes. And it was just like, I just know that it's a work ethic thing. And I just put my head down, bro. Just kept studying. I have watched probably Wall Street Academy, no exaggeration, probably 25 times, 30 times. And I was like, now I'm gonna write it on fucking, because I always would learn plays by drawing it. You know what I'm saying? Like X and draw out the entire thing. So if somebody wanted to put me at a different formation in the slot and then play outside, I knew the play. But I would need to go old school, dog. Get the fucking sheet of paper out and draw that bitch. So I knew it and I could memorize the entire play. Because the play was sometimes like a 16-word fucking play. And I would be like, okay, this is how I'm gonna learn trading. So I would watch the video, I'd fucking take notes, then I'd type the bitch up. I just felt like I was like, let me make it sink in. And then that's when I told you I started to see little things about FTMO, and I was like, bro, I got to try this. In March of 2 years ago, in March, this will be my second year trading ever. And so in March of last year, or excuse me, 2 years ago, is when I started. And I was like, let's give it a go. And I fucking blew that one shortly after I got the next one and I passed it. And I was like, holy shit. But the opportunity, the unlimited potential for opportunity, as you know, like all of us, grabs me. And I was like, holy shit, I can make some serious money doing this. You know what I'm saying? If I just am disciplined, and I just obviously didn't have the discipline at the time. And I'm, obviously every day I'm obviously working to get even more discipline, but that was it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then I just was like, this is what I'm going to do. And against everybody else's wishes, my dad, of course, who's like, okay, and like I told you, I do personal training as well, and so I make good money doing that. But it's like, don't, it seems like gambling. Well, of course, to everybody else, it seems like gambling, as you guys know. It's like, yeah, I realize that, but I'm not gonna stop doing this because I'm gonna put the whole fucking family on. Just wait, type deal. And so my brother and I always, we're like, we have a vision for what we're going to achieve. And I was like, listen, we're gonna do this. I don't give a fuck how long it takes. And my brother's name's Andre. I'm like, Andre, is it really that bad that I'm 28 now? By 32, we've got it. By 33, we've got it. And fucking now I'm making ridiculous amounts of money per day. And it's like, now I do whatever the fuck I want to do. I'll eat shit for 5 years. I will. To have freedom for the rest of my fucking life.
Yeah.
For the next 3/4 of my life, do what I will literally fucking eat scum. I give no fucks. But that's my mentality. You know what I'm saying? So everybody doesn't have that. And I was like, I'm going to make this happen. I will be a day trader. I told everybody I was going to be a fucking NFL player. I did that shit. Now the next journey, day trading. And it's like, and I will be one of the best day traders out there that's making it legitimately. And I don't give a fuck if that takes 12 years. I'm going to make the kind of money and return that, people flex about. You know what I'm saying? Some of these marketers out here are flexing that they do and they don't. And so it's like
about like marketers and things like that. I've shown these dudes like I'm not trying to do like income claims.
No, you're good. Yeah.
Before anything happens, but like I've shown like my personal friends like accounts with 6 figures, 70,000, 50,000.
Absolutely.
And I showed them that because like bro, it's possible to make money out here, bro. It's possible. But it's just like when I see like don't get me wrong, like I respect everyone in their hustle, but marketing is not a thing for me.
No.
You know why? It's because like I'm not a person that will put myself out there because I'm not trying to make myself a target.
Yeah, exactly.
So
but see, a lot of people can't understand that though because it's like you're actually making money.
So they think, okay, in my position, I talk about cars that we buy, right? And like I show proof that we buy these shit. Like I show you the statements. Like,
Yeah, of course.
We buy these cars. I'm not gonna say what cars that we buy, but we buy these cars. But a lot of people never believe me that I actually make this type of money is because if you make this type of money, then you would have this and that. Like no, like to be honest, that's like brainwashing. Like it's like so you telling me, okay, if I made $1 million, I have to buy a Lamborghini.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
It's
no.
not. Again, bro, if that's what you're interested in, if that's what your goal or whatever, that's what you've always wanted to accomplish, no problem. But to your point, it's like that's not a means to it's like I don't need to do this to try to flex to people I don't even care about. You know what I'm saying? You got a Lambo bank account. You're able to do whatever the fuck you want to do. I like that a whole lot better than fucking having a Lambo. Fuck, I got an $8,000, you know what I'm saying, lease now. Like that, I gotta fucking pay. It's like, what, dude?
Yeah. And then I would feel like I was blessed enough to be around people like coming up in the industry. Like they give me like financial literacy sense. Like I learned credit from people, how to like build credit. Like right now, I'm not gonna brag, but I'm up there, in credit. Like,
Nice.
So I learned this stuff from people because hey, they taught me like the real value of a dog. I'm not too sure if you saw a podcast that I shot a while back. My brother-in-law was one of those figures in my life where, hey, he made that income, but I've never seen him like drive a supercar and things like that. I thought, okay. Right. And then so at some point he had an account where they had like I think around 7 figures around there.
Yeah.
And that kind of shows you, okay, you don't have to have like all these cars and things like that. Because you know why? I see people with these like Lamborghinis, all these Porsches, all these all these other cars. But I know someone down the street who makes 8 figures in a year. He got a Toyota, bro. Like,
exactly.
And that's where I like kind of understood, like, okay, like I drive a Lexus right now. I'm not ashamed of it. 'Cause you know what? As long as I'm comfortable, I eat good.
That's all that matters. Exactly.
We go eat steaks, hot pot.
I see the dinners, dog. Yo, brother. I'm like, that's what's up.
I like to put my money in places like, okay, I like to eat good. I have investments. I recently bought 50 acres last year. I'm trying to do a big land development, right?
Yep.
And I'm in the process of like putting my money in places where they should be at versus places that they shouldn't be at.
Exactly. Listen, I totally understand what you're saying and experiences. And that's why I love Miami just as a place in general. And again, like I told you, I'm in Georgia, but it's like I love the fact that they are doing their absolute best, and not obviously they're doing it currently. It's not like they're trying, but like it's all about experiences, as you know. You know what I'm saying? Like they're really trying to like hit all your senses. You got the fucking LED lights going. You know what I'm saying? You got the hostesses or whatever that are, they're not ugly people. You got, great food that's being served to you. I love that.
Now, the food is mid. Food's mid.
The food is a little mid.
That's
But
the
it's like, but
like, the food is mid.
to have the ability, to your point, to try the food, to know it's mid though. What we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Is like, but you've gone to the best restaurant and been like, that shit was not good, bro. But see, to do that though is truly the flex. It's not like, and again, not that you're trying to do that, but it's like, I like good ass food. And I'm going to the restaurant because everybody tells me it's so fucking good. Well, if that's the only meal you've ever had besides fucking McDonald's, well, guess what? Your scale ain't like my scale. I've had fucking Michelin star restaurants and you haven't. Okay. Well, then that's different. But it's like, if I got all this money that I'm making in the market and I have a choice, I can either blow all my money on a Lambo and it's like, live in a fucking shack, or I live in a fat crib and I drive a fucking Toyota, like you said. It's like nobody's following me home or going like, where's this dude live?
Oh yeah.
For what? But I got 50 acres, like you said. And it's like, I got a fucking compound I'm about to pull up to. But you don't know that. And you don't need to fucking know that. It's none of your business. That, bro, is like, those are the flexes, bro. Hedge fund managers and shit like that, as you know, and you know this, they're like Batman, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, people don't need to know you. You walk around. People are like, the people who know you will kind of just give you the, one of those as you walk by. And it's like, alone, because it's like, you're not the face, but you're the fucking one who's pulling in that cash. Like, dude, your job's way cooler than anybody else's, because it's like everybody else is trying to flex, put shit on IG of like, bro, look at how much fucking money I'm making. It's like, bro, you made $1,000. Relax. Motherfuckers putting the damn money up on their arm. Like, stop.
What's it called when they're flexing the rent money?
Yes, bro. Like, relax, dog. You ain't about that life. Like, get the fuck out of here. But that's what it is, bro. It's like you're sitting here. Nice, bro. This SPX is going. You're sitting here going, I want to make all this money, but why do you want to make all this money? Like, don't get into the space. You know it as well as I do. You want to get into
that's
the
a
space.
good thing to talk about too, because people, they want to make money, but what's your end goal? And you know what? A lot of people don't understand that. As the mindset of a person, right? If my boy Julian wants to make $1 million, well, what are you going to do with the $1 million, right? Exactly. What's your end goal at that? Because once you make $1 million, you can make it again, and you can make it again. But it's just how you go by it to make that $1 million.
Correct.
And don't get me wrong, like I've been exposed to people like, hey, I've seen people just have like millions, just like nothing, make it in a year, make it in a month.
Right.
I've shown people,
which is nuts.
I've shown people like, I may not seem important, but I know people like,
yeah, exactly.
I've been to like, I told you like I have investors on Fisher Island. If you don't know what Fisher Island is, then that's something that
exactly. That's enough said. Don't worry about it.
Upon itself, that I have investors on Fisher Island.
You just, again, dude, going back to the legacy thing, it's like if you have a goal in mind and what you're trying to accomplish, it's like, remember, this is about you. That's the beauty about trading. It's like you against the market, you with whatever you do with the money you extract from the market. What you want to do? If it is those cars and you're a freaking geek, you geek out about cars, you want that, you've always wanted that. It's always been, you're kind of feeding the kid, version of you that's like, man, I've always wanted to do that.
I feel like the downfall of that kid like mentality is once you're older, like upon our ages, you're gonna have back pain and shit getting into those cars, and it's annoying.
Yeah. Exactly, bro. And that's why you also see the guys who are making real money, bro. They just like, they're in the Escalades and shit or whatever. Yeah, exactly. They're chilling. Like they're like, bro, I just want to be comfortable. I made a fucking.
We're like I see here in Texas. I'm based out in Texas. You know that.
Yeah.
When my business partner was coming down to pick up his Lambo, and remember we're on the phone. He's like, "Man, can you get a Maybach?" I'm like, "We ain't got that shit. Can you get a G-Wagon?" I'm like, "We ain't got that shit here." To be honest, like we really don't have that shit here because I feel like Miami just sets the standard high for like, okay, I can get this 50 like that.
It does, but we also know that without really saying, Miami is all a flex. It's fucking GTA. It's GTA in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's just trying to ride around with the top down and look at me. It's listen, I've always said this. You move to Miami because you love Miami. You're doing it for the right reasons. You move to Miami because you want to flex. It's a very lonely space, bro. It really is. You get lost in the sauce in Miami, bro, big time. Because it's Sundays on the yachts. It's Fridays we're out at Kiki. It's here, it's there. It's like, but you're never feeding your real appetite of like what you want and what you want to accomplish. You're just actually blowing your money. You know what I mean? You make a little bit and you blow it. You make a little bit, you blow it. You're just trying to flex. And I got friends in high places, and I'm going to get on this boat today. And it's like, who gives a fuck? How do you figure out how to make the kind of money that the guy who owns the boat makes? How do you do that? Why don't you figure that shit out so you can provide for your family?
Like, I never had like the appetite to go on yachts and things like that.
Yeah,
unless I was invited by like a friend, right? Or
exactly.
Some of my investors, like if I go down randomly and they'll call me or something, that's where we kind of have a meeting at, because that's their lifestyle, but that's what they do. But I've never understood like that Miami life. I guess coming to I guess here in Texas, we don't see that shit a lot. Like, to be honest, I live in a neighborhood where it's like it's okay, but you can go down 2 blocks, it's fucked up. But you can go 2 blocks the other way, you can see a Porsche, and you can go down 2 blocks that way, you can see a Ferrari, like a Lamborghini Urus parked in the driveway. That's the kind of things that I've seen growing up. I'm not saying I live in a fucked up environment, but just like I learned that here, like having like a nice car is cool, right? But having a supercar, it's okay, but it's gonna get fucked up in 2 weeks because it's potholes.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh yeah, dude. Like you said, but you know what? Like when you the main premise, bro, is like when you make the kind of money that you make, when you're doing it at that scale, and that, quite frankly, it takes just the effort of you going to get one. If that's something that you want to get, you can get it. You've done the back end thought process of like, it's not about having a Lambo. It's like, how many issues am I going to have with this car? The potholes, the thing. It's like, nobody thinks about that, bro, because it doesn't matter, because you're not getting a car.
Don't get me wrong. I'm working on getting my first supercar, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think about all that stuff because, hey, I'm going to front up 230,000 up to 300 grand in just a car. Okay. If you don't know how much maintenance is on these cars, then it's like, bro, it's horrible, right? Unless you have the warranty still, then that's why you gotta stay within the warranty. Then that's why you see people like having supercars and they switch up every year, because once that warranty goes out, that's just gonna kill you.
Done. Exactly, bro. Exactly.
So,
so going back to like whenever you basically like got laid off of the NFL, so during the time you probably like you were probably with your head down or thinking like that shit like it's bad, or how can I say you were probably down about
it. Sucks, bro. Absolutely, shit sucks.
It sucks for you. So basically now, like that, you look back at it, like it actually kind of like got you out of your comfort zone and like kind of made your mentality like different. Like you were earning 8,000 to 10,000 a week. Like I feel like once a person earns something like that, once you stop earning that, your mentality is like higher. You don't go back to like how can I say? You can't
like
go
a 9 to 5 mentality.
You don't want to go back to earning anything less than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
there's no doubt. I mean, look, I've always, I think it's sometimes it can be kind of like, like I said before, kind of my demise, because I'm so confident in just me. You know what I'm saying? And I always bet. I mean, think about it from the football, just career in general, dude. Like I've always had to just bet on me, right? And so when I got out of the NFL and I got, cut from them, I was like, okay, to your point, I'm going to figure out how to make, this kind of money in some other avenue if I'm not going to do it in the NFL. Once I had 2 years of fucking just training and not doing anything, I'm like calling my agent. Is this going to happen? Like, is there a team that's interested? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, let's go. And dude, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Body's ready. Mentally, dude, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like having a meltdown. But every day I'm showing up at the gym and I'm like, mind over matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, as long as I'm ready when the call comes, I'm going to get on whatever. It's going to be this replay of the Falcons thing in the facility when I was running routes. It's going to be the same shit. I'm going to turn up, to get signed, and this time I'm not fucking getting cut. This is the mentality, right? You have to be like a little insane and be like, fuck. But it's like, it's the training stuff, dude, as you know. I mean, it's kind of like I can make as much money as I want to make in training. You know what I'm saying? Like I am very good at that. aside from obviously kind of the clout, if you will, that people want to train with me because I played in the NFL, I train high school kids, you know what I'm saying? Mainly, that's kind of like the bread and butter, but that's because those are the people that are always around. Training pro athletes are great, but people don't realize that like those are creatures of convenience. So if they go and play for the Cardinals, they're probably going to train in Arizona. That's not because they don't like me. You know what I'm saying? They're maybe from Georgia, they got picked up by the Cardinals, then I'm like, where the fuck you at? If I'm waiting on them to stroke me a check to come train with me, it's like, bro, go get you some kids that are at high schools that are local. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and I get them 3 times a week. Now I'm making some serious bread. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I make great money training. I can obviously make that even more now if I wanted to. And, with a mixture of me being the marketing director at GSP, and helping our social media page grow and all that stuff and my own personal brands. And like I told you, legacy and like what I work on and what I'm focused on. I'm like Jesus, you hit it on the nose. It's like, I'm okay being in the eyes of $8,000 or $10,000 a month, being broke for a little while. I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I want to eat good food. That's for sure. You know what I mean? Like I got plenty of clothes. I don't need no more clothes. I can surely go to Amiri and get dripped out, but for what? Not there yet. So let's just chill. It's like, I have capital to deploy, but it's like, but I want to deploy it on the right shit. You get me? Like we talked about, it's like, I want to play real life now. I'm about properties, bro. I'm about building a big ass neighborhood of 10 to 12 houses, an acre each, of all my family, and that bitch is gated up with a big ass W on it and fucking a mile long security. Nobody comes in this fucking compound. It's just me and my family. That's the shit, bro, I'm after. Yeah. And if I do that, and when I do that, I know I've made it in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Everything that happens before that, the brands that I create successful, are all because of the work that I put in on a day-to-day. And then rub shoulders with the people that are experienced, like Jesus. You know what I'm saying? That's like, I need to get around guys like yourself because you guys are making shit happen. You know what I'm saying? Versus like, I could chill with the people at the gym, but like, after I train them, what do they have to offer me? There are people who are, you know what I'm saying, very well off and who can teach me some things, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time. You get me? Like, remember, they're coming to me for the sauce. I'm not really going to get it back from you. I need to have the reciprocity of, okay, you're teaching me some shit. I need to stay around you. I need to stay around you. I need to stay around you. You know what I'm saying? So, and right now my only focus, bro, is just becoming a freaking beast day trader. And so I got to get around guys like you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, that's how I know I'm going to do that. You know what I mean?
So speaking about brand, and trade, a lot of people don't know. And if they know you, they probably know that you were a part of Surge Trader, right? This is a topic where it gets nitty picky, right? This is people don't know about. But you actually worked at Surge Trader. Yeah, at some point you were the face of Surge Trader. So how did you get started in that? And then how did it end?
Yeah. So, and you and I obviously have had conversations about this. I mean, it was a situation where my ex at the time, her brother knew the son of these two that ran Surge Trader, right? And to make a long story short, I got in, was able to get an interview with these, and I didn't even know they were looking for, but I told them, I was like, I just thought that I was going to be another floor trader for these people. I was like, I'll come in, you know what I'm saying, make some money, make a percentage, you know what I'm saying, kind of, the hedge, dynamic, make 10%, 20% of this money that I make, capital that they give me to manage, and we'll go from there. You know what I'm saying? This is how I'm going to learn how to trade. I just was doing the fitness thing already, and I was like, I don't really want to do this shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I know I'm good at it, but I want to be a trader. So I need to figure out, you know what I'm saying, how to trade right now and make money. And they were like, had a whole nother thought process. And then, no, we want you to be the face of the company. And I was like, well, what the hell does that mean? You know what I'm saying? What do you, we want you to be the influencer, and we want you have a good look about you, and you're able to articulate yourself well, and you've got tattoos, and we want your demographic. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, that's kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, blow up my page, whatever. Cool. Let's do it. And it was a shit show. It was kind of one of those things that they promised me a lot of stuff. Say that. And a lot of shit didn't happen. That's kind of and they went through the exact same thing right now with the people that they replaced me with.
Yeah.
And people who are close to me, who were in that group, if you will, during that period of time, tell the people who are currently there or who are no longer there, were like, we told you so, didn't we? Like, and you didn't want to believe it because the offer also looked enticing. Well, that's also why I got involved. But once I realized they were doing some shiesty shit, I was like, I gotta go. And I was on an at-will contract, so it was like, this is not even a negotiation. Like, I'm out. Like, you guys are being investigated, and I don't rock with that.
Yeah, I remember there was an article that that was posted, and I saw it. I think you shared it with me that they were not trying to say too much, but they're being under investigation.
Yep, exactly. So I was like, they were obviously, it was kind of their way of breaking bread. You know what I'm saying? And like, just want to be honest with you guys. I was like, well, I just got to be honest with you. I'm fucking deucing. And, it was like, they took me on, on these shopping sprees and things. And they wanted to portray that I was
for real.
Yeah. I mean, I was profitable, but they wanted to show that I was making 50, 100 a day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, crazy, you know what I'm saying? Capital. And it just wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I, just like I do today, I extract money out of the markets every day, but it's like, of course, there's L's that come with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody, even profitable traders like yourself, Jesus, and the both of you, it's like, you're going to take L's. And they just were like, let's just show that you just essentially just make a bunch of money and show the lifestyle, drive the Lambo and do the whole deal. And so, okay, no problem. If this is what you guys want to do, and it essentially it ended on the whole investigation thing. And I was like, because I didn't want to have any ties to it, I just returned all the items that they had given me, you know what I'm saying, as far as clothes and accessories and things like that to kind of show this lifestyle. And I was like, I'm good. And I am no longer with you guys, and I'm gonna exercise my at-will contract, and I'm resigning. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? And so it was very it was. And I think that at that time I kind of saw the shiny object, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I told you, my whole objective was just to be like, I want to be a trader so bad. And I say that, but I say that also to say I didn't get on knowing that they were doing something. You know what I mean? It was they actually, I find out afterwards that they're doing things, they're cutting corners and X, Y, and Z, and they're taking investment by people and whatever. We'll leave it there.
Oh, I think your audio is cutting in and out. Say it again.
Yeah.
Nah, I think put your AirPods back on. Yo. No audio. I'm about to hear some crazy shit.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So repeat what you're saying about
Yeah, so where did I leave off? I was just saying, like, they essentially it was just not what it had seemed at all. And, so I got out of that situation. And then shortly after, these things started to unfold and I started to see the news, and I was like, I was just glad that the marketing was not done at a super high rate where I had blown up so big, you know what I'm saying? Where I was like the face of the brand at that extent on a just as using as a name, Q Banks or something like that, where it was like, everybody knows you. And so in turn, I would have been then investigated, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so that didn't happen, which was good, but it was just kind of like, guys, I'm not doing this anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be this fraud, and I'm not going to be, and it wasn't like, oh, I was okay with it before they were being investigated. You know what I'm saying? It was more of, you want to show, I always had, and I told this to Jesus yesterday, I go, my goal was always to become a profitable trader, right? And that's still always the goal, you know what I'm saying? And like to keep rolling as I make money. But it was like, you guys have one thought process of like, let's just get a bunch of traders in this, you know what I'm saying, in this one hub. Let's get them to follow the Instagram. Let's get them to buy the prop, and then we'll pay you. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. And it's like, but I'm gonna learn this all at the same time. It's like I'm watching Q's courses, I'm watching Lambo's courses, and I'm like, I'm gonna figure this out. You know what I'm saying?
So to kind of clear up what a prop firm is, so my friend here doesn't trade, right? He's not a
Okay,
trader.
okay, yeah.
So to clear up what a prop firm is basically a funding company, right?
Mhm.
Let's say we have 500 customers. And there was a 500 customers. How was it? What was the example you gave me earlier?
So it was like, so for instance, it was
You have
like,
1,000 customers,
yeah, you
and
said
they're
you have a
paying.
thousand customers and you're paying $500 for the fee to manage $100,000,
Keep in
right?
mind that's 5 million you made just in profit, right?
That
And
that right
then
there.
and there's a test that you have to take, right? It's two phases. One is a phase one. You have to make 10% of the account. Keep in mind that 90% of those people are not going to pass that first
Oh,
phase.
they're gonna blow it. Exactly. It might even be a bigger. You know what I'm saying?
And it's probably a bigger number. And then phase two,
It's
left
fine.
over of the 95, you have 10%. 8% of those people are not going to pass it.
Exactly.
And so, and keep in mind, at the end of the day, 2%, which is two people left or 20 people, whatever number you can devise up, is going to get funded. And keep in mind, you just made 5 million off 1,000 people. So what they
Now
do
you have
is with
a
that 5
nest egg.
million, they recycle the money to pay you out, thinking that it's a live account.
Yep.
Ultimately, it's just a bigger scheme in general. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a good
No, I
thing.
mean, and like we talked about too, to be
Like I
clear,
said, I have my feelings about these prop firms. What it does to people, it creates an alter ego. It's like, bro, like you get funded, you think you're the shit because you have 100,000 fake money,
Mhm.
and it creates an alter ego. Like, oh, motherfucker, I'm funded 100,000. Like, I can show you 100,000 right now. You want to bet? If you can take that shit out, that's 100,000.
exactly.
And
And
then
you
what it causes,
know
and then
you
what the
money
bigger issue
out.
that it causes for people is that, okay, now we have a purpose of funding, right? What it causes people is like, of course, you create an ego of like ego traders and mental side. I've seen people just break down and just like give up
Absolutely.
doing these things because you know what? There's stress of trading your capital and
Mhm.
imagining you're trading this other capital where you're not like solely like if you lose that money, you're not responsible for anything, to be honest. But it's just like, okay, I'm paying 500 of my last money or my bills, risking my car note, and I have to deal with the mental stress of, okay, am I gonna make this money or not? Am I gonna blow it? And if not, people go into a credit card debt. You know, remember there was a Zoom call. I think you were on there with me and you and Jeff. That there was a guy. I think he was like 16K in debt on prop
Oh
firms.
yeah, yeah,
16K,
yeah, oh, yeah.
bro.
Uh-huh.
And the company reached out to him to tell him, hey, stop buying accounts because the activity is just like God, like it's too
Oh,
high. Like
you're not him. Like, stop trading.
stop. They're telling him to stop. And the crazy part about these prop firms is like, don't get me wrong, it gives opportunity to people, but it limits your opportunity growth.
Absolutely.
Because you know what? You know, back then, me coming up in the game, I traded my own money, bro. I'll tell you this. What do you think is worse? My biggest loss in this game was 25,000. Probably even more, right? But at that first time, that was 25,000 out of my pocket. I'm 24 years old that has 25K. That's kind of hard, like to say it to a lot of people because people don't have a
To
thousand
be able
dollars
to
in
and to
their
be able to
account.
bounce back from that, dude,
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah. So that's when
mentality that takes.
I came back with Bitcoin, right? Just trading
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
yeah,
But imagine being that young and just losing money like that. It's just, to be honest, I wanted to I was just, I
yeah.
don't know. I
I
didn't know
get
how I wanted to
you.
feel, bro. It's just
Yeah.
like, bro, I'm gonna slam the door or some shit, you know?
I hear, bro.
Like,
I hear you, bro.
keep in
100.
mind, like, okay, imagine losing 25K of your own equity versus losing the prop fund. People take losing the prop fund worse.
Oh yeah, and it's like, bro, you really, how much did you lose on paper? You know what I'm saying? How much did you lose of your own capital? That's where they have done such a good job of like finessing the game of being like, but it's only 500 of your own money.
Yeah.
And like you said, it gets traders in the wrong mindset of like, okay, yeah, I've only lost this amount of money. It's like, bro, you need to treat this like a real account. Like this is your real money.
I feel like
So
it's like more of a brainwash. Like
yeah,
they
bro.
convince you to buy all these accounts, bro. Like, other words, they're winning overall, bro. Imagine 1,000 people. Now imagine worldwide, you having hundreds of thousands of people buying these
You're
accounts.
talking about times a million traders, bro, who
Yeah,
have bought. And in some cases, like FTMO, who it's like, bro, people have bought ridiculous amounts of accounts. You know what I'm saying? Like, why
I'm
not?
talking about you buy it right now, you lose that bitch in 20 minutes, you go back and buy
Go buy
another
another
one,
one.
goddamn it, type shit.
Like, whatever. It's like, who cares? You know, and the only, I mean, I say the only reason, I mean, not that this is necessarily like, pertinent information, but the only reason FTMO obviously like is able to charge what they charge because they do it way more than everybody, meaning like charge more for the 100K account, is because FTMO has track record of paying out their people.
Oh yeah.
That's it. This is
Because you have like you have these companies also that pop up. Like, so again, he's new to like this information. You have companies that start up the same business model. And imagine you pay that money, and the first month you make the account, you get the account. First month, you think you made 15K, but they never pay you.
Yeah. So that's where it gets even more like shiesty. You're like, bro, I made this money. Like, who are you gonna talk to? It's unregulated. That shit is in the Cayman Islands somewhere. Bullshit. They got no fucking support. They're like,
and if they think you're a good trader, they may attach it to a live account, like actually put their money. Exactly. You make the money for them, and they just
don't matter. And then they just, and then they're just like, you're done. So it's like, bro, like having a regulated broker that you're working with obviously is super important. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, but these traders don't really care. They'd rather pay less money for a particular payout, or not for payout, for an account for 100K or whatever, or 50K or 10K, depending on their risk appetite and what they want.
So the level of finesse in this industry is high. Like, bro, if you think you're getting finesse in the streets, people getting finessed.
Oh my God,
10 times worse out here, bro. You don't know. You don't understand like how bad it is out here right now.
Hey, bro, so you just have to like really have your eyes open and understand like what you're getting in it for. Most traders are undercapitalized, so the prop firm model is genius. Hey, I'm going to let you manage 100K. This still takes discipline. Yeah. It still takes discipline. You got to make money on top of your money. I got 100. I passed it. I passed the 105. Now I'm in the money. From here, now I got to take it from 100 to 125 or whatever. Now I get an 80-20 split. I take 80, they take 20. Then I work it to a 90-10. I take 90, they keep 10. And hope that, like our boy Jeff, oh, well, we feel like your trading is not suitable for our platform, and you're a little bit too aggressive with your moves.
Yeah, no, like, bro, what they do to finesse you so bad. Like,
what are you talking about?
So like, good after so
while. I've been funded more than everybody else.
Trader. But don't limit the money you make. That's the fucked up part about this. So like, I've been banned off some of the prop firms. Not gonna say why, but bro, they literally like will cut you off like that because they feel like, oh, you're cheating, and they're gonna come up with some bullshit proofs to say, oh, this is why.
Yeah. So it's like honestly, you and I were talking about this or whatever, and not to kind of give them too much information, but ultimately, it's like that was something that you were doing. It's like, bro, then bringing transparency, you know what I'm saying? Or like when we talk about Sway, it's like, bro, which are reliable, you know what I'm saying? A broker that pays out, that we know is legitimate, that is regulated. It's like, bro, you just want to do it the right way. There's nothing wrong with the business model. Once again, talk about the market.
It's like, you know what's funny? Like the past few months, like we met back after the summit was July, July-ish, or no, just first camp.
Oh yeah.
You're on there. And I talked about, you know what? The fucked up part is I talked about how like the whole year was going to transition with brokers, everything. People did not believe me for shit. And you know what? It happened back to back.
I'm not even gonna lie. When I met you first on, I was like, who's this Jesus dude? I'm like, what's going on? And you just broke it all the way down. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I feel like this is insane. Like I've just been woken up. Like I've been fully unplugged. I'm like, this is insane. I had no idea, bro, that was what was taking place. And I'm like, bro, everything's a lie. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but it's just, if you're good enough at marketing and you have shown a long enough time that like I trade and I make like it's funny, you see those memes or whatever, it's like trader starter pack. They go and get their fucking veneer teeth. They go get a couple tattoos. They go get their fucking Lambo or McLaren, and they are renting a house or something. You can be a trader. You want to be a trader? No problem.
That's Miami, bro. That's literally what Miami is.
Miami, boom. You're like done deal, bro. Now people are going to get into your course. You get 1,000 students. You start, charging them whatever. Bro, that's how you're funding your life. That's how you're paying for your Lambo. That's how you're paying for your apartment. You know what I'm saying? Your penthouse. Not because you're making money. And so it's like, you just want to get to a point, bro, where it's like, I don't need to get on any podcast. I don't need to talk to nobody. And it's like, I know that when I close my trade, bro, I just made 30 grand. I just made a fucking teacher's salary, which is sad. And that's how fucked up the system is, like we talked about. But it's like, I just made that. Now I'm about to go do some stupid shit. Right now I want to go to fucking, this badass rig to fucking Carbone, and now I'm gonna go, you know what I'm saying, rent some jet skis and fucking ball out. Like, bro, do whatever the fuck you want to do. You've literally learned the skill in order to extract money. So do whatever the fuck you want to do. And don't do it because you're like, let me get some students. But you really don't know how to trade and you're using a demo account, which is kind of like the prop firm where it's, you know, like fake money, digital money that you're like, bro, look at this, 200 grand on $1 million account. And you're like, bro, how do you make $1 million? Everybody on social media, as you know, is like, it's all the looks, right? Look, here's the perfect analogy. Look at girls with BBLs. There's your fucking marketing day traders. Hey, look, ain't nothing wrong with it, dog. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Shit, I'm gonna look at it.
I have shown some influencers that look good. But damn well they're like, they ain't making that much money.
Come on, bro. So the parallel is, listen, them fucking BBLs look good. And when it's a good surgeon, it looks real good. And listen, it don't mean I'm not interested. I'm interested. Let's ride. But you do need to understand too, though, like what it took. You see what I'm saying? It's like, can you sleep at night knowing when I'm snatched up, my body's all natural? Shut the fuck up. You paid fucking 25 grand for that BBL. Shut the fuck up. I saw your ass at Dr. Miami. No, you didn't. That's all I'm saying. Nothing wrong with it. You want to go get that done? No problem. The optics, the pictures you're going to do by the pool, the this, the that, to get the Fisher Island dude who's really making bread's attention to then change your life forever. Hey, look, I understand the hustle. It's the same shit as marketing and trading, bro. But don't tell me you've made all this money in the market and it not be real. Because you're fucking with people's lives. She wants to go get a fucking big old ass. Nothing wrong with it, dog. You're telling people to deploy their money in here and be like, bro, look at all this money I'm making. I'm making fucking 100% every day. It's like, shut the fuck up. No, you're not. That is the problem right there. So it's like, bro, just keep it transparent, keep it real, and we're good. But people are not listening to, like, who the fuck am I? This NFL guy who's trying to trade now. I know people are going to watch this who are big in the space and go, fuck this dude. I'm going to do what I do. No problem. All I'm saying is don't expect to be happy about what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? And feel fulfilled. And when you have kids and be like, this is what I did and I'm a day trader. No, you're not. You're a marketer. It's cool. But it's like, just be a YouTuber, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with it. That's live too. It's pretty much now, bro, in today's society, we treat YouTubers like they're fucking celebrities.
Oh, yeah.
Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross. These motherfuckers are just as big as celebrities. When they pull up to a place, everybody watches. Nothing wrong with it. You want to be that guy and you maybe started in trading, but be transparent about, I've transitioned. I put my money in the right places. I'm no longer a trader. I dabble here and there, but I make my money off of this, or this. I'm never going to bash somebody like that. But somebody who's trying to be like, oh no, you see the profits I'm making.